Alrighty, it's a late night video. It is the NASCAR Xfinity Series in part 2 of 3 that I'm going to be doing, including the Cup Series, which I will do in a matter of hours. It's going to be a long panel, but first we're going to cover the Xfinity Series because I was supposed to do it earlier in the morning, but things didn't work out that well that we decided to postpone it. We will cover the Sprint Unlimited and a bare minimum. Rain will cover most of it because he saw the race, I didn't. I won't discuss here on YouTube why. More personal.
Fuck Joey Logano.
Moving on. Alright, so let's start off with the schedule. And this is how it goes in order. The first 3 races will be on Fox Sports 1, which includes the Alert Today Florida 300 at Daytona, Atlanta, and Las Vegas. Then the first of 4 races that will be on Fox will be Phoenix, the Exalta Faster Tougher Rider 200. Then the next 4 races will be in FS1, which would be Fontana, Texas, Bristol, and Richmond. Talladega will be on Fox for the Winn-Dixie 300. And if I now recall, I think it was the race sponsor at Daytona back in the day. Iowa will be on Fox Sports 1, then it'll be back-to-back races on Fox, which will be Charlotte and Dover. And the final 2 races in the Fox season, which will be on FS1, Michigan and Chicago. Then the rest of the year will be NBC, starting up with Daytona, Kentucky, Loudon, which will be on NBC Sports Network. NBC will cover Indianapolis, Darlington, Texas, and Homestead. Here are the remaining order of the season. Iowa, Watkins Glen, Mid-Ohio, Bristol, Road America, Darlington, Richmond, Chicagoland, Kentucky, Dover, Charlotte, Kansas, Texas, Phoenix, Homestead. And just like the Campy World Truck Series video that I did, we're gonna go through the entire lineup of the drivers in the Xfinity Series, and then I'll give my prediction of my top 5 points finishers. It should be a lot more easier, I would believe. All right, we start off with Harrison Rhodes in the number 0, which will be driving the JD Motorsports. Will be an additional car, which will be the entire season. As far as Harrison Rhodes' resume, he's 21 years old. He has driven a couple of Xfinity starts, but he's mostly known for driving in the K&N East. So this is really his first kind of experience on a regular basis for Rhodes.
Canadian NASCAR series?
Yes.
Canadian NASCAR series?
Yeah, the K&N Pro East, K&N Pro West.
I don't know much about that series. My friend Kyle knows a lot about it, though. Seeing that he is, of course, Canadian. We'll see what he does. We'll see what this guy does this year, see if he impresses us.
Yeah, given that it is JD Motorsports, which generally has been starting parts, but generally run the race. In fact, I drove Dodges last year.
Yeah.
Alright, Landon Castle will return. As far as GNK Services will sponsor him, Castle's statistics makes him eligible for Cup. He finished 12th of the points with 3 top 10s. Average start 20.3, average finish 19.8. Obviously, with the Cup guys hogging up the spotlight, that's why Castle ended up so high in the points, because they're not eligible. Castle finished 8th at Talladega and in Elkhart Lake, race 9 of 14 respectively, and his other top 10 place finish came along at Iowa with 10th. I'm gonna say this real quick about Castle. I think he can get even more better. I hope he does good, because once upon a time ago, Landon Castle was the points leader in Nationwide when it was known as that sponsor at the time. Anything about Castle?
When I was watching the Sprint Unlimited and I saw the build-up for the Xfinity Series, I kind of made a promise to myself, I'm going to try to cover the Xfinity Series as much as possible, except for the races Kyle Busch races in.
And we'll get to Kyle Busch in a moment when we get to the numbers. All right, we talked about Johanna Long. He's going to be running a partial schedule in the trucks and Xfinity. like I said, I really wish she does good. She's a very underrated female driver. Given the car and the team is underfunded, she's done what she could. So I hope she does really well.
Better than Danica. Better than Danica.
If Danica and Ricky wrecked again, we'll talk about that in the Cup preview, which Ray will go into in depth since he saw the race. I somewhat followed. I didn't really want to get spoiled, but I ended up being spoiled anyways.
Sorry about spoiling. Sorry about spoiler alerts tonight.
Yeah, next time I'd rather figure out my own, but I don't think there'll be another Saturday night race till like Kansas. All right, here is who's going to be in a new team. In fact, he left Joe Gibbs to join Roush, and his sponsor One Main Financial joined, which will be the primary sponsor for the entire season. And we're talking about Elliott Sadler, who finished third in the points a year ago, 7 top 5s, 25 top 10s. As Poole average start 9.1 and a finish of 9.4. In fact,
I see Sadler winning about 3 races this year. The guy's got it down there, but winning the championship ain't gonna happen.
The deal with Sadler, he won a Talladega. The deal with Sadler, and in general, you cannot have a bad race at all in the Xfinity Series. If you do, you're basically out of the title. Ask Brian Vickers. Ask Elliott Sadler on a number of occasions. Elliott Sadler could have been championship contender, but he's just had a couple bad luck races, and then he pretty much is out of it. I have Elliott Sadler in my top 5 in points as of right now. We're going in the order of numbers. So, I really hope Sadler's got to really step it up. He's going to a new team, a not-so-hot team at all of Roush Fenway Racing. So he may struggle a little bit adapting to Roush. So we'll see. Next guy will be Brian Scott, will be sponsored by Albertsons on a couple occasions. Brian Scott needs to win a race. He's got to win or fail, because this is the year he must win. It's a do or die situation for Brian Scott. And here's why. He basically remember he dominated at Richmond a couple years ago, and and then Fuckboy won it. Alright, Brian Scott finished 4th in the points last year with an average start of 6.5. Now, I do remember he qualified on the pole a lot. In fact, he and Dillon had 3 poles apiece. Let me see who's gotten the most. I think that is, yep, and Joey Logano. No, wait. That doesn't surprise me that Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski lead the pack. Kyle Busch had 7 poles, Brad Keselowski had 5. Joey Logano has 3. As far as regulars, Brian Scott and Ty Dillon had the most poles with 3. Average finish for Scott, 9.3. 6 top 5s, 23 top 10s. He's finished 5th several times, including at Richmond, Charlotte, Michigan. He finished 3rd at Mid-Ohio. He was runner-up in Kentucky, so that is his best career finish so far. So I say he's got to step it up. However, I do have him ahead of Sadler as far as top 5 in points right now. Thoughts on Brian Scott?
Brian, there's not really much to say. I mean, I've watched a couple of the Xfinity races last year, and from what I saw of Brian Scott, I'm not really that impressed. It's just my opinion.
I see he's an underrated competitor. He's thoroughly consistent from time to time.
Yeah.
Alright, number 3. Ty Dillon is expected to run the entire season with multiple sponsorships. He won in Indianapolis. He was the runner-up of the Rookie of the Year standings. He finished 5th in the points, a win in Indy, 7 top 5s, 24 top 10s, 3 poles, led 205 laps. Average start and finish is identical, 9.5. Finished on the lead lap in 28 out of 33 races.
Dillon's going to win about 1 or 2 races this year. But, Ty Dillon is a little bit better than Austin, but still, fuck the Dillons.
I have him ahead of Ty Dillon. I have him ahead of Ryan Scott. I think Dillon could even grow even more, but I wouldn't be surprised if he would be a Cup driver in 2016 or 2017. That wouldn't surprise me unless he stays around for one more year. All right, Ross Chastain will be driving the. Oh, thank goodness he's got a ride. He's going to be teammates with Harrison Rhodes. He'll be full-time in the number 4 car, which generally runs in the back of the pack. So I hope Ross Chastain, I expect him top 20 in points. In the bottom top 20.
Yeah.
I got not much to say.
Shout out to Pro, by the way. Shout out to Pro. I know he's watching us right now.
And we'll get Pro in the Cup preview, which will start shortly after the Xfinity Series preview.
Yeah, we're definitely getting Pro in here. I don't care if he doesn't want to join. We're getting him in for the Sprint Cup.
No, we're getting as many as our league as we can, but let's try to let's get back on track.
I don't think you want to invite the criminal.
Oh, of course, but Bubba Wallace, number 6. I have high expectations. He's with Roush. I feel like it is somewhat of a career suicide mood, but I cannot say. He drove 2 Xfinity Cup races. He got a top 10 out of it at Daytona, the 16th race in July. So there's some hope, but
middle expectations for me. I'm not saying he's going to have low or high. I'm just saying he's in the middle for me. I got to see more of what he does this year.
I have high expectations because I think he could join in that brass club of Elliott and Larson and those guys. He won 4 times in Camping World last year, if I remember. He's replacing Trevor Bayne, so he could be Rookie of the Year. I'm not sure. We'll see. I hope he does well. Now, this is the guy that I think is going to win the championship. That is only if he does not have bad luck. And I'm talking about the 2-time winner. Yes, I still think he won at Talladega in 2008, but technically he won the 7500, but still, who cares? The runner-up of the point standings with a single win, which was the opening race at Daytona, 7 top 5s, 26 top 10s. Average start 10.6, average finish 8.9. And we're talking about Regan Smith.
Regan Smith, I remember when he raced that. Only thing I can remember about Regan Smith was him at the Daytona racing that 7 car. What did it say on it? What was that sponsor? Ragu or something? I can't pronounce it.
Ragu or Tax Slayer, which has been a sponsor.
Right.
But yes, I have him as my championship favorite as of right now. So I say he'll be once again a stronger contender, but he's running out of time too when it pertains if he's gonna get to Cup, because right now Hendrick is booked completely. So he's not going anytime soon.
I guess the only memories of him in Cup, Darlington.
Talladega.
Went below the yellow line.
You got forced. We're not going to go talk about that. I still think he got forced.
that would be a lazy argument.
Alright, Blake Cook, car number 8, is going to be driving the entire season in a number 8 Toyota, which is owned by TriStar Motorsports. TriStar's been there for the longest time.
Not impressed by what Blake Cook did last year. No. Okay.
Unless if you're Alan Bestwick, it's Joey Gase. He drove 28 races, no top 5, no top 10. Average start 28.6. Blake Cook is generally start in park. I probably expect the same thing. And here is
this next driver. Let's just say this man needs no introduction. He has already made his mark on the Xfinity Series in his first season. Many call him the future of NASCAR. I'm calling it right now. I don't care what Otto says. Two-time champion. I say he's going to repeat. Chase Elliott in the 9. The dude's going to repeat. I have not seen anyone down in that lower series that dominate the way he does.
3 wins, including at Darlington. That is not an easy track to win, especially in your first time.
That Darlington win was epic.
Beat all the Cup guys at Darlington. Mind you not, first time at Darlington.
He beat Kyle Busch in a race last year. I don't know what it was at, but he beat Kyle.
Xfinity regular beating the Cup guys to hog up the spotlight on a frequent basis. You have something.
You know that guy is going to be the future.
Right, Elliott had 3 wins, 16 top 5s, 26 top 10s, tied with Regan Smith. However, Elliott has 2 poles, average finish of 8th, average start 8.3. He finished on the lead lap 32 out of 33 races. The only one who has successfully finished every race on the lead lap with more than 10 races is Kyle Busch, 26 out of 26. I think he could repeat. However, I may have some. It depends if Regan Smith can get out of trouble. If he stays out of trouble, Regan Smith could win the title. I think we're going to have another teammate battle for the championship. I sense it. All right, Cale Conley.
Next driver.
Cale Conley in number 14, replacing Aaron Mcclure, who has been driving the 14 for the longest time. Cale Conley's record. Let me find Cale. Cale Conley had a top 10 and 11 nationwide starts a year ago. I know it's Xfinity now, but we're referring to last year. And that finish was as Kentucky 6th place for RCR. So he's been driving RCR cars. Conley, he pretty much ends up with a team that I'm not sure. It's TriStar Motorsports. I don't see much of him in that 14 car, unfortunately. So, all right, this is the driver that really surprised me. 1 year ago, I did not know who in the hell this guy was. All I know, he was going to be driving a Roush. He surprised me quite a bit in some aspects. Well, obviously, he got help. And I'm talking about Ryan Reed, who got a top 5 finish with an average start of 16.3, 17.1 average finish. Finished on the lead lap, 17 out of 33. I know, given a guy that I never heard of at the time, I did not expect much from him. In fact, he finished 4th at Daytona in July. I will say the same thing. He's got to step it up too. Yes, he did. He surprised me finishing in the top 10, but he's still got to do better. Tanner Berryhill. I don't expect much of him either. In fact, he finished 22nd in the points. He led a lap. Average start 30.1. Average finish 31.4. It comes to tell you that the starting parks could finish in the top 30 in points, or even in the top 25. I got nothing much to say about Berryhill. Here is the man who finished 2nd in the ARCA race next to Grant Enfinger, Daniel Suarez. I am concerned of him. Yes, he's got a full-time sponsorship. Yes, he's going to drive the whole season, but everybody that has been in Gibbs gets fucked over. Brad Coleman, Matt DiBenedetto, Bubba Wallace, everybody who's driven for Gibbs in the Xfinity Series or any capacity has been fucked over in the long run. And if I recall, Reed Sorensen as well. No, that's Turner Motorsports. That's where they fucked it up horribly with Reed Sorensen. He was like third in the points, couldn't keep him. He was half-assed for the rest of the year with a mediocre top 25 team.
I messaged Emerson that we're live, and he asked me if you can invite him in here.
I can invite him in the Cup. We're somewhat halfway done with the Xfinity. All right. Number 19, Mike Bliss will drive the entire season. With Scott Lagasse, he's going to drive the 19 for Daytona. Mike Bliss is in his twilight of his career. Yes, he got a top 10. If I remember, it was Talladega. 19 points to average start, 20.4 average. So he's usually mid-pack. That's where we expect him. Oh yeah, Mike Bliss, another driver from Gibson from the Busch Series that got screwed.
Mike Bliss is still racing.
He finished 10th at Road America. Yep. Hey, I don't blame him. I don't really blame him one bit. All right. Number 20, the GOAT, or sarcastically, I like saying the GOAT. Eric Jones is going to run 10 races. Matt Kenseth will split the ride as well. If Eric Jones wins the Xfinity Series, I'm telling you, he could be in that brass ring club with Elliott, Larson, maybe Blaney, maybe Wallace.
No. There's only one man. That's Elliott. No.
I'm talking about the guys
Elliott's
that will be the future. I'm talking about the future. I'm not saying Eric Jones is going to win the title. I'm saying Eric Jones is not eligible for points. I'm saying Eric Jones could be in that in my brass ring club, the 5 guys that will lead the future.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot the Dillon boys, but we'll let that one slide. And here comes. No. It's 2/3 of the two-thirds are fuckboys and Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, I think he could win a race in Iowa. That's probably the only race I would expect him to win. But
Ryan Blaney, the only things I know about him were he raced the 12 car at Talladega. He had the 83 car in NASCAR 14, which is a badass looking paint scheme. And if I'm not mistaken, he won a race last year in Xfinity.
I don't remember. Was it Iowa or Bristol? Let me double check. I know he was the runner-up last year in trucks. I expect good things from him. He's pretty much part-time in all 3 series. That's the funny thing about it. He's part-time in all 3 series. Yes, he got a win. He drove 14 starts. He finished in the top 10 in every single one of them except for Talladega. And yes, he won at Bristol. But look at his finishes. Bristol 4th, Texas 8th, Richmond 9th, Talladega 21st, Iowa 2nd, Kentucky 5th, Chicago 9th, Bristol 1st, Richmond, Chicago 4th, Texas 3rd, Charlotte 4th, Kansas, he did finish 3rd in Texas, and Homestead 4th. Yes, it's the 22, but I think he got a 5.6 average start and a 5.8 average finish in 14 starts. I'm telling Blaney, he could win a couple. He'll be strong. I'm telling you, he'll be strong when he drives the car. Obviously, you have Keselowski and Logano's going to hog up every win too. So let's move on. 23 cars.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, we're
sorry.
getting
Continue.
23 car will consist of these following drivers. Take notes of this one. Robert Richardson Jr., Carlos Contreras. Yes, he still drives in NASCAR. He goes way back from 2000 in the trucks. Timmy Hill, Josh Rome, Ryan Ellis, Devin O'Connell, Richard Herriam, Carl Long, Cody Ware, Blake Cook. There's really no plans announced, but that's apparently who they drive the 23.
I've been watching Josh Rome since he was, if I'm not mistaken, in Orica. That dude's fucking hot.
He drives in Josh. All right, let me look at Josh Rome because I never heard of him. Okay, he was a K&N Pro driver from Redlands, California.
He finished last in an Orica race.
He made his nationwide series, the Xfinity Series debut, finished 30th in a Lilly Trucking number 23 car. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Too early to tell, but I'll judge him under a curve if I remember him. Alright, Eric Mcclure is going to be in the 24 car full-time with pretty much almost secured sponsorship for the entire year. Mcclure No top 5s, no top 10s. In fact, the highest driver to have not got a top 5 or top 10 at all is Jeffrey Earnhardt, who finished 18th. Mcclure had a 28.4 average start, 25.4 average finish. He drove 28 out of the 33 races. Not much to say. He's been there for a long time now. And funny, in 2004, Aaron's 499, he made his Cup debut. Go back. Eric Mcclure did made a Cup start in 04. Before he was known for sliding on the track and sliding through the wall and loud and pulling his best Ron Hornaday and his horrific crash at Talladega, which I thought we would have had another Dan Weldon moment.
Oh.
Alright, number 25. Wes Townley is going to be part-time in the Xfinity Series. Oh boy. Look out.
Yes! Yes!
Alright, we'll see how he does it.
Townley, a guy I've been watching since in the Truck Series for a long-ass time. I hope you do well part-time. I hope you do well part-time, Townley.
He drove 11 races, average start 23.1, 20.44 average finish, finished on the lead lap twice. Since he was a truck-eligible driver, he ended up on 100th in points. No, without a single point because he was ineligible. Alright, number 28, he's going to be driving full-time in the Xfinity Series. I think he's pulling a Joe Nemechek as well when it comes to running Cup and Xfinity full-time, and we're talking about J.J. Yeley. J.J. Yeley, a.k.a. N2SE4R's arch enemy on the Let's Plays. Have you seen his Let's Plays?
Shout out to Joseph shout out to Joseph if he sees this video. Joseph, please don't get mad at Otto for saying your arch enemy's name.
You understand what I mean, but hey, you got a top 5. You got a top 5 at Road America, so you got 7th at Talladega. So, but there's subpar finishes. The typical J.J. Yeley, run-in-the-mill run he's gonna have. 21.66 is average finish. Nothing much to say about Yeley because we will bring him up again in the Cup preview.
Yeah.
Alright, and the 33 will be Austin Dillon, Paul Menard, and Brandon Jones. Paul Menard, he surprised me when he won in Michigan. I was thinking, first win in almost 8 years, because the only win he got was when he was with DEI in 06 in Milwaukee. Or it could be more surprising that Stephen Light also won a Busch Series race back in the day. What do you expect of Brandon Jones?
Is that the Truck Series driver?
Yes.
Never seen him in a car. Never seen him in a nationwide car or a Sprint Cup car. So it'll be interesting.
So hopefully he may have a Cale Conley type of run. He may do pretty good, but we'll see. Jones. Where is he? Oh yeah, Daniel Suarez drove 2 starts, average start 15th, average finish 17th, but there's only 2 starts, so I'll give him somewhat of a curve. Brandon Jones, he's driven ARCA before. Doesn't surprise me. In fact, he's going to be running a couple ARCA races. He drove a couple truck starts. So, he is one of those young guns that might come up the ranks down the road. Yeah. Alright. Number 39. If I remember, he finished 16th in the points with a top 5, top 10. 20th was his average finish. 21.6 is his average start. We're talking about Ryan Sieg, the brother of Shane Sieg. Whatever happened to Shane Sieg? Ryan Sieg, 39 car. Usually, he finished 3rd at Daytona in July and got 9th in the first race.
Never heard of him. I'm sorry, people. I mean, I don't I haven't followed Xfinity in a long time. I'll try to follow it this year.
In fact, the first 4 races he was ineligible for points. I think he was truck eligible before he declared he was going to be a full-time Xfinity driver. He'll get better. You see, oh, this is an old school crew chief. Kevin Cowboy Starlin, Rick Crawford comes up to mind. All right, 42 car. You have the next big thing. Kyle Larson. Brennan Poole, who's known.
I would love for this season to come down to Larson and Elliott for the title.
In Cup.
Come on, Larson, you can do it.
In Cup, because remember he's not eligible for championship points.
Oh.
Larson is not eligible. Remember he's full-time in Cup. He's in Cup, for crying out loud. Brennan Poole is with the Ace Curtis Scott Motorsports affiliation. So he is affiliated, so he's got a pretty good ride. He's like I said, he's a successful ARCA driver who's driven for the Venerinis. He has like 216 wins and 9 championships in 24 different states, so he is somewhat of a real deal. So we'll see how he does. He's from California. His favorite race car drivers are Jeff Gordon and Tim Richmond. Must be a nostalgia guy. So.
Have you ever seen those pictures of Kyle Larson when he was a kid?
I have seen
the
a couple of them. All right, Dillon
People, before we move on, people have brought up in the past. Before we move on, I figure I have to tell you this. People brought up in the past if Chase Elliott didn't come up so fast, Larson would have been given the keys to the 24.
Good, but again, I think Ganassi might be they're slowly coming back as being a strong team. This is their year to prove themselves. They could be a strong team.
Because of Larson.
And
because
McMurray.
Of Larson.
Don't forget McMurray. McMurray is when he wins, he steps up. When he comes up to win, he steps up to the occasion. But he was strong at the end of the year, and we'll talk about it in the Cup.
Well, he didn't look strong tonight. We'll get to that in the Cup review.
Well, everybody wrecked basically in that race. That's why I can't really judge much about McMurray there. But
Scott Griffel.
Dillon Kwasniewski won the pole at Daytona, finished 8th. He finished 9th in Iowa, 8th again in Mid-Ohio. Where is he now? After finishing 11th in the point standings, nowhere. He's going to be part-time in the 42 because Turner Motorsports shut down, so he got fucked. Dakota Armstrong, number 43, he finished 13th for the points, 3 top 10s, a pole. He won a pole. Not so good average start to finish at all, 20th for both. In fact, he won the pole at Daytona. Can't say much about that. Mid-Ohio, he finished 10th. Richmond in the fall, he finished 7th. And again, at Texas, he finished 10th. Step it up. Because he was with Sauter. He was Johnny Sauter and Matt Grafton's teammate, if I remember, a while back. So he's got to step it up. David Starr is going to be full-time in the 44. Yep, the guy who was the only guy who made it through that big one at Talladega in the trucks. He got a top 10 finish, 26 of the points a year ago. Like most of the guys, nothing much to say. He finished 9th at Talladega. Expect him to survive the big one. Jeremy Clement, number 51. He's going to be full-time. His image is somewhat tainted because of his comments a couple years ago that got him suspended. He finished in the top 10 twice, 21.3 average finish, 25.4 average start. His top 10s includes a 6th place in Elkhart Lake, 8th at Daytona. And that's it. Not much to say about Clements. Not much to say about Joey Gase, which is Alan Bestwick's favorite driver. There's an ongoing joke that when it was Blake Cook in the car. Sorry. Excellent commentator, but Damn. Like, Matt DeBenna never finished 21st. Oh, of course. Like I said, when you start and park on a regular basis, when Cup guys don't get points and hog on the spotlight, you can finish in the top 25 and start and park. Not much to say about Joey Gase. And here is Joey. Oh, wow. Joey Coulter is actually going to be driving in the 54. Well, he's got to take advantage of it because is back in the 54. Move on. He's gonna win about 80% of the races. He's probably gonna finish every race. Jeffrey Earnhardt is gonna be in the.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna say this about the driver of the 54. This is all I'm gonna say. 1, 2, 3. Fuck Kyle Busch! Fuck him! Move on.
Jeffrey Earnhardt, 55, is going to be driving for Viva Motorsports. Which was
Jeffrey, no. No.
He's from Carey's. No. He's from the Carey's heritage, so not much to say. He finished 18th.
No.
I don't see him much. Start and park at best because that was Jamie Dick's ride last year. In fact, Jamie Dick finished 25th in the points, 21 starts, average start 28.4, average finish 29.1, finished on the lead lap one time. Here's another surprise guy that really, really impressed me. Sad thing, he did fail to qualify. However, he capitalized it with a big win at Road America. I mean, Mid-Ohio, I apologize. It is the better Buescher, Chris Buescher. He's basically the only Roush driver. I'll talk about James in a moment. 14 top 10s, 5 top 5s. Average start 11.5, average finish 12.6. He really surprised me when he won. Who the hell was the driver he battled with? I know he was. Oh yeah, Brendan Gong won at Road America, and man, the road course races were good. Alex Tagliani almost won. Justin Marks was a factor apparently. Let me look up Road America. Who was the driver that Brendan Gong had a battle with? Oh yeah, Kevin O'Connell. Did I mention Kevin O'Connell already? Yep, in the 23 car, Kevin O'Connell. Let's take a look at him real quick. He finished third. You kidding me? He's got to be sports car driver. Kevin O'Connell rings a bell. Kevin O'Connell, yes, I remember he's a sports car driver. Right? Yes, he is a sports. Wait a minute. The funny thing, he's 47 years old, and he's just driven NASCAR and sports cars. I'm trying to remember. I heard of this guy's name. He almost won the damn race. But I'm guessing O'Connell's driving the road courses for the 23. So, Chris Buescher. I don't have him ahead. I don't have him in my top 5 in points. Brendan Gong, the winner of Road America. He won twice, and if I remember, the other one was at Kentucky. 7 top 10s, 2 top 5s, average start 12.4, 15.5 average finish. He finished 8th in the points. He'll, of course, have South Point. I'm guessing he is full-time, and actually, no. He's not going to be in the top 5, unfortunately. It will take a lot more to get him in the top 5, but he's going to have a good year again. Dark horse. Number 70, Derek Cope. Finished 23rd of the points. Average start 34.9. Average finish 31st. Typical Derek Cope. Next.
Derek Cope still races.
Yep. I'm not sure about her daughters. I think Kevin Harvick.
Derek Cope. Listen. It was 25 years ago. It's time to retire.
I'll let him run. Because the next guy is Mike Harmon, number 74. Come on. Why is it not letting... Yep, Mike Harmon's back. Then here comes the pack load of drivers into number 87. You have Joe Nemechek, Daryl Harr, Kevin LePage, Tim Schendel, Chris Cockrum, Stanton Barrett, Ruben Garcia Jr., the son of Ruben Garcia who wrecked at Riverside, Carlos Contreras, Josh Rayum, and Timmy Hill. The 23 and the 87s is some sort of alliance. Did they have this many fuckload of drivers? Not much to say for the 87. All right, number 88. Here are the drivers. It'll be Dale Jr., Kevin Harvick, Casey Kane, and Ben Rhodes.
Kevin Harvick in the 88. I just can't imagine that.
Hunt Brothers Peaks is going to sponsor him. Let me see. Who's driving Daytona? I'm guessing Junior's driving Daytona. 88 will be a contender. However, when you have the 54 and the 22 and sometimes the 20 and the 18, you're not going to get a win. Mike Wallace, number 93. Wallace, where'd he go?
Almost at the end of the Xfinity preview.
Yep, he got a top 10, finished 28th in the points. He only drove 11 races, so he's pretty much not driving much these days. And I'm guessing it is Daytona, yep. Bunch of guys in the top 10 at Daytona. Listen to this top 10 in the July race. Listen to this. I'm pretty sure there was a big one. No. Okay, no big one. Here's the top 10 of that Daytona race. Casey Kane won that one. Regan Smith second. Ryan Sieg third. Ryan Reed fourth. Kyle Larson fifth. Joey Logano sixth. Darrell Wallace seventh. Jeremy Clemens eighth. Trevor Bayne ninth. Mike Wallace 10th. And the last one, as far as full-time is concerned, it is James Buescher. The former Camping World Truck Series champion finished 10th, 2 top 10s. The sad thing about it is that Chris won before he did. 17.8 average finish. Finished 10th at Richmond and 9th at Bristol. Gotta get better. If you have Chris Buescher beating you, you have to be better.
Yeah. My computer just did a lag for a second, and my computer just lagged for a second, and the whole video froze up on me. I thought I had to reset my laptop.
Alright, here are the part-time guys, which we will not go into too much in detail. Jeff Green apparently might be part-time. The 12 car of Blaney Logano will be part-time. Carl Long, Matt Carter from ARCA, Derek White. Derek White will drive at Daytona. Don't expect much. I don't think he'll make the field. I wouldn't be too surprised. The 15 will be Carlos Contreras, Ryan Ellis, Ryan Long. The 29 will be Justin Marks, which he will drive at Daytona. Ryan Preece in the 36. Never heard of him. Let's take a look real quick because we're almost done with Xfinity preview.
Yep, Emerson and Pro will invite y'all for the Sprint Cup video, which will be immediately after this.
Alright, he won the... Okay, Ryan Preece was the 2013 Well and Modified Tour champion. He's part of the class of 2013 and 2013 of the next, which is the equivalent of NXT. So we'll see. He'll be driving for Tommy Baldwin. The 80 will be Ross Chastain and Johnny Sauter, apparently. I doubt it, especially if Goodyear's their sponsor and Gigi Hattori's the owner. Chad Bone in the 84. Bobby Gerhard in the 85. Just stick to ARCA. You know what's funny about Bobby Gerhard? All of his wins are on plate tracks. The only win that is not Daytona out of the 9 he's won is Talladega in 01.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Joe Nemechek apparently is going to be in the 86 with Kyle Fowler, Jay Crum, Tim Cowan. Number 89 will be Morgan Shepherd. Number 90, Jimmy Weller. 98, Jeff Burton, David Reagan, Corey LaJoy. That car usually is around the top 15, top 20. Alright, my top 5 prediction. I have Elliott Sadler finishing 5th in points. Brian Scott 4th. Ty Dillon 3rd. Regan Smith 2nd. Chase Elliott will be back-to-back champion of 2015 to cap off his illustrious Xfinity career.
Number top 5 for me. Number 5, James Buescher. Number 4, Regan Smith. Number 3, I'm going to surprise you, Brandon Gong. Number 2, Kyle Larson. Even though you say it's not possible.
He's not eligible. He's a cup driver. Remember, he's a cup driver. Cup points.
Okay, number 2 then, maybe Bubba Wallace. And number 1, Chase Elliott.
Completely different. Alright, but the sad thing about it, expect another typical Xfinity Series run-of-the-mill season when it pertains to cup drivers hogging up the spotlight. I still think they should only allow them 5 races. It's the Austin Dillon method. I'm sorry. I'm still sticking with the idea that you only run 5 races. Maximum.
Fuck candy ass.
Any last words about the Xfinity Series? It's going to be interesting. Most of the guys that you expect to be contenders for the title are going to be back. So pretty much...
Yep.
Alright, we're going to wrap up the NASCAR Xfinity Series preview. We're going to do the Cup review in a matter of moment along with the Sprint Unlimited mini reviews. So until we meet again, I have Chase Elliott winning back-to-back titles.
Emerson Pro, if you're watching, please join for the next video. Although, make sure you don't invite D Criminal, because if you do, that might cause a fight, seeing what's going on in the league.
It's not going to be a JMG situation, so don't worry about it. So, till we meet again, we're going to do a Cup preview video. Hope you tune in for the third and last installment, because that's where we'll get to the nitty-gritty.
We're going to start in just a couple of minutes. See you guys there.
Till we meet again, everybody. Chase Elliott, back-to-back champion.